Today, we're going to examine the instances in which Disney remakes fell short of the standards set by their animated predecessors. This is no longer enjoyable. It's not meant to be enjoyable. Remake sequels are not included here as they may have their list. Number 10, 101 Dalmatians. Put down your pitchforks. Many individuals have fond childhood memories of this rendition. But when you take off the nostalgia glasses, 101 Dalmatians' shortcomings are revealed. You're all soaked. But why? I went to the pond to swim. Yes, that was a mistake. The water is contaminated. Indeed, and it has a fishy flavor. For better or worse, this movie is the height of cheesiness. Not much substance to be found here, with easy slapstick humor and dull dialogue. It appears that only Glenn Close, in the role of Cruella de Vil, comprehended the job. She gives the kind of hammy performance that this film needs. You're done. You'll never return to a career in fashion. I've had enough of you all. I'll even leap. Hold on. You'll regret it. You Moranesque people. You Moranesque people. However, if the dialogue between the dogs isn't depicted as it was in the original movie, the live-action adaptation can end up being boring. One of the earliest signs that some Disney movies are better suited for the animation genre is 101 Dalmatians. We own two amazing pets, and they have children of their own, and they have their offspring. Additionally, their stepchildren are parents. Number 9, Lady and the Tramp. Additionally, it is best for you to begin caring for yourself and yourself alone as soon as possible. Whoa, that's not true and really depressing, so thanks for nothing. Goodbye. A live-action remake of Lady and the Tramp has to measure up to the iconic qualities of the original film. Regretfully, the 2019 adaptation of the animated movie is essentially a toned-down version. The primary characters are likable, however they don't have much on screen time or consistent character growth. The story's primary confrontations, nevertheless, appear to start and finish without any major problems. The realistic versions of Lady and Tramp lack chemistry, in contrast to the original. I was never supposed to leave your side. You said it yourself. You made the statement yourself. Since no one else is faithful, why should you be? I ought to have just trusted you. If you haven't seen the original, it's a good movie. However, this adaptation truly isn't appropriate if you have. Number 8, Aladdin. You can only get so far relying on memories. Guy Ritchie's Aladdin is largely charming because it evokes positive recollections of the 1992 original film. This movie tries something different, and the outcomes are rather uneven. Why was I never informed of your beauty? Nobody brought up yours either. Oh, I'm very grateful. That's what they say in Scotland. Yes, exactly. Most modifications are not warmly received, such as the removal of the Sultan's endearingly silly demeanor. Even though Aladdin and Jasmine have a lot of connections, they don't always get the attention they deserve throughout the movie. They also merit a leader. Who is aware of that? I have no idea why, but I suppose it might be me, since you ought to be the one doing it. Do you believe so? Not care what I think. Furthermore, certain actors are just irreplaceable. This is demonstrated by Robin Williams' absence. Even though Will Smith adds his flair, his genie falls short of the original. The princess and you will always be in this together. Can you simply make the law non-existent? Please. As if it had never happened. Aladdin settles for being exceedingly average when he could have been incredible. Number 7, Mulan. Recall how fantastic Mulan was in 1998, with its endearing characters, catchy soundtrack, and happy vibes. That's not what to anticipate from the remake, though. There's no excitement or fun in the live-action version. Rather, it makes too much of an effort to be regarded seriously as a combat film. There is considerable weight to the idea that there is a major threat to an empire. However, the adaptation goes in the opposite direction from the animated original, which counterbalances this with multifaceted characters and much-needed humor. It's startling how drastically different the tones are. What your power means. Join my path with yours. Together, we'll be more powerful. The characters here are cliches, far from being relatable. Furthermore, this awful remake bears very little similarity to the original due to the removal of fan favorites like Li Shang. The sword has vanished. I now see the significance of that sword to you. Number 6. The Lion King. This remake was a huge hit, grossing over $1.6 billion worldwide at the box office and making history as the highest-grossing animated movie ever. However, when we remove the nostalgia, there isn't much quality left. The Lion King's biggest disappointment in 2019 is how poorly it conveys the characters' feelings. The animals in the movie have expressionless faces, making it seem like you're viewing a nature documentary. He made an effort to keep me alive. It happened by mistake. Not that I intended for it to. You obviously didn't. These things are never intended to occur. In addition, the on-screen graphics are inconsistent with the timeless soundtrack. The original animation's breathtaking impact is lacking in computer-generated realism. The remake seems completely average, despite how closely it adheres to the original. Number 5. Alice in Wonderland. It's possible that Tim Burton's live-action adaptation of Alice in Wonderland was the catalyst for the Disney remake craze. Regretfully, it also highlighted some of the studio's most significant issues with these movies. Alice is mistaken. She might be if she existed. She ain't if she isn't. But she would be if that were the case. But no way, no hell is she. This is my dream. How can I be the wrong Alice? Here, Alice leaves her first journey behind and returns to Underland. However, once the loose narrative is established, the movie veers towards its conclusion. It emphasizes flair over substance, giving set design more weight than character development. I'm not like that. Yes, I am aware. Epsilon, please solve this for us. Is this Alice the right one? Not by much. Despite being identifiable and quirky, none of the characters truly engage the viewer. Additionally, Alice is not a very strong heroine due to her stoic demeanor. Despite being a financial hit, the movie's shortcomings have rendered it essentially unmemorable. You are welcome to remain. What a brilliant concept. An absurd, terrible, brilliant concept. Number 4. Dumbo. What is that? Jumbo the baby. In the freak show, I already have fake freaks. An actual one in the central ring is not necessary. Dumbo from 1941 has its share of heartfelt moments, but overall it's simpler to watch because of its brief running duration and overall sentimentality. In the meantime, the dismal images of the 2019 remix mostly convey a sense of helplessness. The movie struggles to identify if it is a gloomy drama, an adventure, or a fantasy. They have a good roster of actors, but they don't have much material. In his dull rendition, the title character is barely more than an emotional punching bag. If there's one thing the demise of Dumbo teaches us, it's probably best to ignore this particular tale. My elephant was taken by him. Manatee, remember that contract we had? While I'm not an expert, I believe you have more serious issues here. Number 3. The Sorcerer's Apprentice. One day, you will become a highly significant sorcerer. And now, with your very own enchantress, your first lesson begins. There isn't much, if any, overlap between this movie and Fantasia. It's basically just a tribute to the well-known broom sequence in one scene. The story's basic elements are still present, even though Mickey Mouse isn't present. The novelty of witnessing Nicolas Cage with magical abilities, though, soon gets old. Maxim, we used to fight together. Since then, a lot of things have transpired. It's not relevant to this. Yes, Balthazar, it is. That has always been the focus. The movie quickly turns into a typical CGI extravaganza with well-choreographed fight scenes. Not because the plot is convoluted, but rather because it lacks intrigue. The story is hard to follow. More Fantasia aspects would have been a good fit for The Sorcerer's Apprentice, but for the duration of the movie struggles with its identity and ends up being a forgettable watch for viewers. Although you lack Merlin's strength and ability, you nonetheless possess his powers. Though you're still frail, I'm not alone myself. Number 2, Peter Pan and Wendy. Pixie dust, faith, and trust. No. This time, No fairy dust. Not a magic trick. Not a ruse. Just a little assistance from my pals. Another remake, Peter Pan and Wendy, is essentially a shadow of its animated original, with lifeless photography and dreadful characters. The titular couple doesn't have the same healthy dynamic as in the first film. Instead, they are more like rivals. I honestly believed you would be content here. Indeed, I also did. However, Neverland is not at all what I had anticipated. Given his tendency to irritate people, Peter may be considered a villain in his own narrative. Wendy also spends the entire movie complaining about various issues when she's not smacking Peter. Being a magical fairy, you can fly. Along with a group of kids, you're bribing with a princess to tidy up after you while you're out swashbuckling with pirates. When the most endearing character is Captain Hook, you know something is wrong. While there are undoubtedly problems with the original, the remake also has plenty of them. Before we go any further, don't forget to hit the bell to receive updates on our most recent videos and to subscribe to our channel. You can choose to receive notifications for every video or only the infrequent ones. Make sure you turn on notifications in your phone's settings while using it. Number 1. Pinocchio. Did you hear anything, Pinocchio? Yes, I certainly did. I also heard something. And since you can speak now... Hi there, Pops! In the year that Guillermo del Toro reinvented the timeless story of Pinocchio, Disney produced a sterile version of its 1940 production. It succeeds in completely missing Pinocchio's journey's purpose. Rather, the movie aims to impress audiences with garish special effects. In addition to a surprisingly subpar performance by Tom Hanks, poor acting further detracts from Pinocchio. We will be at home together when we return home now that we can. We will be a single, ecstatic family. The biggest concern, though, is still who exactly the remake was intended for. The character's immature actions won't win over any older admirers, and the depressing background makes it a bad pick for younger audiences. The movie, which has received harsh criticism, is just inferior than the original. There are numerous tales concerning him. Some claim he was changed into a genuine, altruistic boy. Did that truly occur? Who knows? Which Disney remake do you believe was the worst? Tell us in the comments below. Did you find this video entertaining? See these other videos on my channel, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and watch our most recent videos to stay updated.